Damn, we've got a lot of pretty cool things this week. What's up, guys? I'm your host, Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Let's start with Intel. As we mentioned last week, Intel's new QLC NAND is going to shake the memory game pretty hard. A lot of you had the same reaction as me. Budget and Intel? Like, what's happening? Anyways, it seems like Intel wants to shape the future of memory with both the budget-friendly 660p and their Optin modules. Now, you probably heard many times that Optin is kind of like an NVMe SSD, so why pair the two together? Well, Optin actually has a big advantage compared to other traditional NVMEs. Instead of NAND flash, it uses something relatively completely different. It uses 3D crosspoint modules, which are in the simplest term a non-volatile hybrid of RAM and traditional NVMe storage. The lower latency and extreme performance consistency makes it the perfect stepping stone for an NVMe SSD. At the same time, it is definitely not the biggest upgrade for a regular user or gamer, but for content creators like myself, or like 3D modeling professionals, things like that who consistently slam the storage with requests, it might be a good upgrade. Like I said in the last video, my next upgrade will definitely be a 1TB or maybe the 2TB 660p, but later down the line, I would consider an Optin module to help with the responsiveness of the rest of the system. I do have a question for you guys though. I'm curious, how hard do you push your systems? Personally, when I'm rendering a video, I'll often be watching Netflix, doing other things, doing more research, photoshopping the thumbnails, or prepping for my next video. What about you guys? Let me know down below. I'd love to know how hard you push that build. Moving on, I was going to talk about the Samsung event, but something more interesting came along for us to discuss, in my opinion. Intel just updated their graphics driver for WoW Battle of Azeroth and The Walking Dead: The Final Season. Now, this might seem like a benign thing, but here's what I find interesting. It's pretty rare for Intel to upgrade their integrated graphics, and right now, they're going pretty hard at it. It seems like those ex-AMD guys are making their mark. Maybe, and I mean just total speculation, the GPU that they're working on for 2020 might be based on the current Intel graphics. I mean, we've never seen what the current Iris Pro could do if you dedicated a whole GPU die to it. When we look at AMD, most of their APUs actually have some sort of connection to a fully fledged GPU like the current Vega SoC or their older GCN architecture. Anyways, maybe, and I am probably grasping at straws, but it's definitely interesting. Let me ask you this. Now that Intel has a budget part for the consumer, and I'm talking about their NVMe SSDs, don't think about the CPUs, do you think this could happen on their next generation products? I mean, once again, I doubt that it's going to happen on the CPU side, but maybe their GPU will have a model that is like the new age 480, great performance and great price. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's move on to some gaming news. Discord, the super popular comms platform and also game launcher, as many of you guys have pointed out to me in the last video, will become a store. Yeah, like a game store. I mean, it's not like I ranted about having another game launcher yesterday. Oh wait, I did. By yesterday I mean last video, but you know what? This one can stay. Since Discord is already an incredible tool for communication both in gaming and even in business, a lot of people already have it and use it on the daily. So adding features like this kind of makes sense. The store will work in two ways. There's going to be a storefront where you can buy games and a Discord Nitro subscription service, which already exists, but you'll have more perks where you have access to older games at no extra cost. A lot of people thought that Discord's entire purpose was just to get bought out. Well, it seems like things might change a bit and Discord might want to be its own entity. Unless their actual goal is to get bought out by Steam, because even though Steam revamped their chat system, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Moving on, Super Smash Brothers introduced a brand new character and some Echo characters. Simon Belmont from Castlevania joined the roster, and so does Richter Belmont, Chrom from Fire Emblem, I believe, and Dark Samus, although the last three are all Echo characters, meaning they're extremely similar to their Echoes, but have slightly different animations and movesets. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, King K. Rool from the Donkey Kong franchise will also be joining the roster. God, I love this game. I can't wait to just play and just kick all of my friends' ass. They also showed a ton of new features. Link below if you want to see the full 26-minute Nintendo Direct. And now to answer a question from you guys, if you had the opportunity to introduce video games to someone who had never played them before, what would you start with and how would you progress? Well, I actually did that with one of my friends that was never really interested in gaming. I started with Super Smash, and I let him learn a little bit on his own since the game is so easy to get into. Then he got obsessed with Little Mac. Then I showed him something a little more casual in the FPS genre, and he loves Overwatch so far. As for the progression, there are none at this point. I mean, he needs to fly with his own wings. He needs to figure out what he likes. He has an FPS and a fighting game. What more do you want? And that's pretty much it for the news, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like down below and a comment down in the comment section below with a question. It would be greatly appreciated. If you have any to me, you can just ask them. Now you can click right here to subscribe to the channel. Damn, I'm changing things up every single episode now. And right here to see the latest video. It'd be greatly appreciated. This is free content. This is to subscribe to the channel. All right, so stay frosty, and I'll see you on the next video.